Memphis, Tennessee, November 2nd, 2024. Elijah Johnson stands in front of Storage Unit 47 at Brennan Storage Facility on Winchester Road and feels his entire world collapse. The tarp is pulled back. The car underneath is a dark blue 1995 Honda Civic, Tennessee license plate, 739KLM. His sister's car, the car that vanished with Keisha Johnson on October 15th, 2016, 8 years ago. The car Atlanta police searched for. The car featured on missing person posters across 3 states. The car Elijah has been looking for since he was 34 years old. And inside the driver's seat, still buckled in, are skeletal remains wearing the nursing scrubs Keisha was last seen in. But we need to go back. We need to understand how Elijah got here. How a routine storage auction became the end of an 8-year search. How a $500 bid revealed a murder that had been hidden 20 feet from a busy Memphis street for nearly a decade. This is that story. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to hear this story. If you're comfortable, let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is where you are. Now let me tell you what happened to Elijah Johnson and his sister Keisha. October 15th, 2016. Keisha Johnson is 23 years old. She's a nursing student at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center in Memphis. Smart, ambitious. Everyone says she's going to be an incredible nurse. She has that way about her, the kind of person who makes you feel seen, heard, cared for. Elijah is her older brother. He's 34, works as a mechanic at a shop on Poplar Avenue. He and Keisha are close, closer than most siblings. Their mother died when Keisha was 15. Their father left when Keisha was a baby. It's always been Elijah and Keisha against the world. That Saturday night, October 15th, Keisha finishes her shift at Regional One Health Hospital at 11 p.m. She texts Elijah, "Heading home, tired, love you." Elijah texts back, "Drive safe, see you tomorrow for breakfast." Keisha never makes it home. Her apartment is in Midtown Memphis, 15 minutes from the hospital. She never arrives. Elijah calls her at 1 a.m. when she doesn't respond to his goodnight text. No answer. He calls again at 2 a.m. Nothing. At 3 a.m., he drives to her apartment. Her car isn't there. He calls the police. Missing person report. The officer who takes the report is professional but not particularly concerned. She's 23. Maybe she went to a friend's house. Maybe she met someone. Give it 24 hours. Elijah knows better. Keisha would never not respond, would never worry him like this. Something is wrong. Sunday morning, he drives to the hospital, checks the parking garage. Her car isn't there. He asks security if they saw her leave. They check the footage. Yes, Keisha left at 11:07 p.m., got in her car, drove out of the garage. After that, nothing. Her car vanished. She vanished. Memphis Police Department opens an investigation. Detective Robert Hayes is assigned to the case. White man, late 40s, 20 years on the force. He interviews Keisha's friends, her classmates, her co-workers. Everyone says the same thing. Keisha was happy, focused on school. No boyfriend, no drama, no reason to disappear. Her car, a 1995 Honda Civic, dark blue, Tennessee plates, is entered into the national database. Bolo issued across Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi. Weeks pass. No sightings. No leads. Detective Hayes tells Elijah what he doesn't want to hear. Most missing person cases resolve themselves. She'll probably turn up. But Keisha doesn't turn up. Weeks become months. Months become years. The case goes cold. Detective Hayes retires in 2018. The file gets passed to the cold case unit. Then it gets filed away. Just another missing person in a city that sees too many. But Elijah never stops looking. He keeps Keisha's apartment exactly as she left it. Pays the rent every month, even though he can barely afford it. Her nursing textbooks still open on the table. Her scrubs hanging in the closet. Her coffee mug in the sink. He prints missing person posters, puts them up across Memphis, updates them every year with age progression photos. He joins missing persons Facebook groups, posts about Keisha constantly. He hires 3 different private investigators over the years. None find anything. His life becomes defined by her absence. He can't move forward because she's still out there somewhere, or so he tells himself. Deep down, as the years pass, he starts to accept what he doesn't want to accept. Keisha is probably dead, has probably been dead since that night in October 2016, and he'll probably never know what happened to her. But then comes Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. Elijah is scrolling Facebook in his apartment when he sees an ad. Storage unit auction, Brennan Storage Facility, Winchester Road, Saturday 10 a.m., cash only. Elijah goes to storage auctions sometimes. He's a mechanic. People store car parts, tools, equipment. Sometimes he finds things he can use in his shop or resell. It's become a weekend habit. Something to do. A distraction from the constant weight of not knowing what happened to Keisha. Saturday morning, he drives to Brennan Storage Facility on Winchester Road. It's a sprawling complex of orange metal units, probably 200 units total. The facility has been there since the 80s. Elijah has driven past it 1,000 times. There are about 30 people at the auction. Regulars, professional resellers, bargain hunters. The auctioneer is a white man in his 50s, works for the facility. He's going through the standard speech about rules and payment when the facility manager approaches. Todd Brennan, owner of Brennan Storage Facility. Elijah has seen him around Memphis. Wealthy guy. Owns several storage facilities across the city. White man, late 60s, always wearing expensive polo shirts and khakis. Drives a new Mercedes. Brennan watches the auction from a distance. Doesn't participate, just observes. The auctioneer starts with Unit 12. Someone bids $300. Sold. Then Unit 29. Sold for $450. Then Unit 33. Then they get to Unit 47. The auctioneer cuts the lock. Rolls up the door. Inside is mostly empty, except for something large, covered with a blue tarp in the center of the space. Unit 47, the auctioneer says. Delinquent since 2017. As is, all sales final. Elijah looks at the tarp. It's covering something car-sized. Could be a vehicle, could be furniture, could be junk. Hard to tell. The bidding starts at $100. Elijah bids. Someone else bids $200. Elijah goes to $300. The other bidder drops out. Elijah bids $400. No one else bids. He goes to $500. $500, going once, going twice. Sold to bidder 43. Elijah pays in cash, gets the key to the unit. Plans to come back tomorrow with his trailer to haul out whatever is under that tarp. But curiosity gets the better of him. It's only 2 p.m. He has time. He drives home, hooks up his trailer, drives back to the storage facility. Unit 47 is in the back row, away from the main office. Isolated, Elijah pulls his truck up to the unit, gets out, unlocks the door, rolls it up. The blue tarp is old, faded, covered in dust. He walks over to it, grabs the edge, pulls it off, and his entire world stops. It's a car, a Honda Civic, dark blue, 1995 model. Elijah's heart is pounding. It could be a coincidence. Thousands of Honda Civics in Memphis. Dark blue is a common color. But something about it makes his hands shake as he walks around to the back of the car. Tennessee license plate. 739KLM. Elijah falls to his knees. That's Keisha's license plate number. He has it memorized. Has recited it to police, private investigators, anyone who would listen for 8 years. 739KLM. This is Keisha's car. Right here. In a storage unit. 20 minutes from his apartment. In a facility he's driven past 1,000 times. Elijah stands up. His legs barely work. He approaches the driver's side. The windows are tinted, but he can see inside. Someone is in the driver's seat. He presses his face against the glass. The figure is slumped forward slightly. Skeletal. Wearing scrubs. Dark blue scrubs. The kind Keisha wore. The seatbelt is still fastened across the remains. Elijah screams. He doesn't mean to. The sound just comes out, raw, anguished. He falls backward, lands hard on the concrete floor of the storage unit. He's hyperventilating, crying, shaking. He pulls out his phone. Dials 911. 911. What's your emergency? I found. Elijah can barely speak. I found my sister. She's dead. She's in her car. In a storage unit. Sir, slow down. What's your location? Brennan Storage, Winchester Road, Unit 47. Please send someone. Officers are on the way. Sir, are you safe? Is anyone else there? It's just me. And my sister. She's been missing since 2016. I just found her. In a storage unit I bought at an auction. The operator keeps him on the line. Elijah sits on the concrete floor outside the unit, staring at the car. At Keisha. At the sister he's been searching for. She's been here. The entire time. While he was putting up posters. While he was hiring investigators. While he was keeping her apartment exactly as she left it. She was locked in a storage unit, 8 miles from his house. Memphis police arrive within 10 minutes. 2 patrol officers, both white, mid-30s. They approach with hands near their weapons. Sir, are you Elijah Johnson? Yes, that's my sister. In the car, Keisha Johnson. She's been missing since October 2016. One officer approaches the car, shines his flashlight inside, steps back, speaks into his radio. We need homicide and a medical examiner at this location. Remains in a vehicle. The other officer focuses on Elijah. Sir, I need you to stand up and put your hands where I can see them. Elijah's confused. What? Why? Just procedure, sir. Hands where I can see them. Elijah stands, raises his hands. The officer pats him down, checks his pockets, takes his phone. What are you doing? I called you. I found my sister. How did you know to look in this unit? I didn't. I bought it at an auction this morning. I thought it was car parts or something. I pulled the tarp off and... The officer's expression is skeptical. You bought a storage unit at random and your missing sister just happened to be inside? Yes, I didn't know. I had no idea. How long has this unit been rented? I don't know. The auctioneer said it's been delinquent since 2017. And you've never been here before? No, never. I bought it today. More police arrive. Crime scene tape goes up. Detectives show up. A medical examiner van pulls in. A detective approaches. White man, 50s, gray hair. Detective Mark Sullivan. Homicide Division. Mr. Johnson, I'm going to need you to come down to the station to give a statement. A statement. I just found my sister. I need to. This is a potential crime scene. We need to understand exactly what happened. You can cooperate here, or we can do this the hard way. Elijah realizes what's happening. They think he had something to do with this. They think he knew Keisha was here. I want a lawyer, Elijah says. Detective Sullivan's expression hardens. That's your right. But I'll tell you right now, not cooperating makes you look guilty. I didn't do anything. I've been looking for my sister for 8 years. And now that I found her, you're treating me like a suspect? You just happened to buy the exact storage unit your missing sister was in. You have to admit that's suspicious. It's a coincidence. A horrible coincidence. I bought the unit at an auction. There were 30 people there. The auctioneer can confirm. We'll talk to everyone. But right now, I need you to come with us. They don't arrest Elijah, but they make it clear he's not free to leave. 2 officers escort him to a patrol car. He's not handcuffed, but it feels like he is. They drive him to Memphis Police Headquarters on Tillman Street. Interview room. Gray walls. Metal table. 2 chairs. The room Elijah has seen in a dozen police procedural shows. Except now he's in it. Not as a witness, as a suspect. They leave him there for 90 minutes before Detective Sullivan comes in with a female detective. She's black, 40s. Introduces herself as Detective Nicole Carter. Mr. Johnson, let's start from the beginning, Sullivan says. Your sister Keisha went missing in October 2016. October 15th. You filed the missing person report. Yes. The next morning, when she didn't come home, and you've been looking for her ever since. Every day for 8 years. That must have been frustrating, not knowing what happened to her. Elijah sees where this is going. I didn't hurt my sister. I would never hurt her. No one's saying you did, Detective Carter says. Her tone is softer than Sullivan's. Good cop, bad cop. Elijah recognizes the tactic. But you have to understand how this looks. You buy a storage unit. Your sister's body is inside. You're the first person to find her in 8 years. Because I bought the unit at a public auction, I had no idea what was inside. Walk us through today, Sullivan says. Every detail. Elijah does. The Facebook ad, driving to the facility, the auction, bidding on Unit 47, coming back with his trailer, opening the unit, finding the car, finding Keisha. How much did you pay for the unit? Carter asks. $500. That seems like a lot for a unit you couldn't see inside. There was a tarp over something car-sized. I'm a mechanic. I thought it might be parts or a project car. Did you recognize the car before you pulled the tarp off? No, I couldn't see it. But as soon as you saw it, you knew it was your sister's car. I saw the license plate. 739KLM. I have it memorized. Sullivan leans forward. Here's what I'm having trouble with. Elijah. Storage units get auctioned after 90 days of non-payment. That's Tennessee law. But this unit was delinquent since 2017. That's 7 years. Why wasn't it auctioned sooner? I don't know. I didn't even know the facility existed until this morning. So, it's just a coincidence that the one unit that hasn't been auctioned in 7 years happens to be auctioned the same morning you show up. Yes, it's a coincidence. A pretty big one. I know how it sounds, but I'm telling you the truth. They question him for 4 hours. The same questions over and over. Elijah's story never changes because it's the truth. He bought a unit, found his sister. That's all. Finally, at 9 p.m., they let him go. But Detective Sullivan makes it clear. Don't leave Memphis. We'll be in touch. Elijah walks out of the police station. His truck is still at the storage facility. He calls an Uber, goes home, collapses on his couch. His sister is dead. He found her, and the police think he killed her. By Sunday morning, the story is everywhere. Local news, national news, social media. Man finds missing sister's body in storage unit he purchased. The headlines make it sound like he knew, like he bought the unit specifically to find her. The articles mention he was questioned by police, that he's a person of interest. Social media is worse. He obviously knew she was there. Who randomly buys a storage unit with their dead sister inside? This is a confession disguised as a discovery. He probably killed her and hid her there. Now he's pretending to find her. Elijah reads every comment, every accusation, every person calling him a murderer. He can't stop, can't look away. His phone rings. It's his boss at the mechanic shop. Elijah, I'm sorry, man, but customers are calling. They're uncomfortable. I need you to take some time off until this blows over. I didn't do anything. I know. But I have a business to run. The customers stop coming. His friends stop responding to texts. His neighbors avoid eye contact. TV news crews camp outside his apartment building. On Monday, Elijah hires an attorney. Angela Brooks, black woman, mid-40s, civil rights lawyer. She takes one look at the media coverage and shakes her head. They're trying you in the court of public opinion before there's even been an investigation. The police think I did it. Of course they do. They always suspect the person who finds the body, especially in a case this unusual. So what do? You let me handle the police. Don't talk to them without me present. And we start investigating ourselves because they sure as hell aren't looking at anyone but you. Angela pulls the storage facility records. Unit 47 was rented on October 18th, 2016, 3 days after Keisha disappeared. The rental agreement is signed K. Johnson. But when Angela gets a handwriting expert to analyze it, the signature doesn't match Keisha's handwriting. It's forged. Someone rented this unit in your sister's name, Angela tells Elijah. They forged her signature to make it look like she rented it herself. Who? That's what we need to find out. Angela also discovers something else. According to Tennessee law, storage units that go unpaid must be auctioned after 90 days. But Unit 47 went unpaid in January 2017. It should have been auctioned in April 2017. Instead, it sat untouched for 7.5 years. Why? Elijah asks. Someone kept it off the auction list. Someone with access to the facility's system. Angela subpoenas Brennan's storage facility's internal records. Todd Brennan fights it. His lawyers claim privacy concerns, trade secrets. But a judge orders the records released. What they find changes everything. Unit 47 was marked in the internal system as private, do not auction, from January 2017 until October 2024, just weeks before Elijah bought it. Someone with administrative access to the facility's computer system had been protecting that unit for over 7 years, keeping it off auction lists, keeping it hidden, and only one person had that level of access to the system for the entire period, Todd Brennan. But there's more. The payment records show something strange. From January 2017 until October 2024, someone was making cash payments on Unit 47. Small payments, $50 a month, just enough to keep the account from being completely delinquent. The payments were made in person, at the facility office, in cash, no paper trail. But the facility's security camera system kept logs, and those logs show that every month, on the same date, the payment was made during the overnight hours when only one person had access to the office. Todd Brennan's son, Kyle Brennan. Angela brings this to Detective Sullivan. He's skeptical at first, but when Angela shows him the evidence, the forged signature, the protected unit status, the cash payments, his skepticism shifts. Who is Kyle Brennan? Sullivan asks. Todd Brennan's son, Angela says. And, in October 2016, he worked at Regional One Health Hospital, the same hospital where Keisha worked. Detective Sullivan reopens the investigation, this time focused on Kyle Brennan. Kyle Brennan is now 42 years old, lives in Destin, Florida, moved there in 2020. Before that, he lived in Memphis his whole life, worked security at Regional One Health from 2015 to October 2016. Then, 3 days after Keisha disappeared, Kyle Brennan quit his job. No notice, just stopped showing up. Sullivan interviews former co-workers from the hospital. Several remember Kyle, and several remember that Kyle was obsessed with Keisha. He followed her around, one nurse recalls. Asked her out like 5 times, she always said no. He didn't take it well. Another co-worker. Kyle had a temper. There were complaints about him being aggressive with female staff, but nothing official, just rumors. A security supervisor. I was planning to fire Kyle. He was creepy with the nurses, but then he quit before I could do it. Sullivan pulls Kyle's work schedule from 2016. On October 15, 2016, Kyle was working the night shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. He would have been at the hospital when Keisha got off work at 11 p.m. Sullivan contacts Florida authorities. They bring Kyle in for questioning. He agrees to talk without a lawyer. Big mistake. Did you know Keisha Johnson? Sullivan asks, via video conference. Yeah, we worked at the same hospital. Did you ever ask her out? Kyle hesitates. Maybe once or twice, just casual. Witnesses say you asked her out 5 times, that you followed her around, that she was uncomfortable with your attention. That's not true. I was friendly. She misinterpreted it. Where were you on October 15th, 2016? I don't remember. That was 8 years ago. You were working at the hospital. Night shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. If you say so. Did you see Keisha that night? I don't remember. You don't remember seeing a woman you asked out 5 times on the night she disappeared? I saw a lot of people. I don't remember specifically. Why did you quit your job 3 days later? Kyle's expression changes. Defensive. I found a better opportunity. What opportunity? I don't remember. It didn't work out. You quit a stable job with no notice and you don't remember why? It was 8 years ago. Sullivan shows Kyle the storage facility records, the cash payments, the dates matching Kyle's access to the office. Did you make payments on storage unit 47? I don't know what you're talking about. Your father owns the facility. The payment logs show someone with after-hours access was making cash payments on that unit. That's you. I helped my dad with the business sometimes. I might have processed payments. I don't remember specific units. This unit had your coworker's body in it. Kyle's face goes pale. I want a lawyer. The interview ends. But Sullivan has enough for a warrant. They search Kyle's Florida home, his car, his storage units. They don't find physical evidence linking him to Keisha's death. 8 years is a long time. But they find something else. Kyle's personal calendar from 2016, saved on an old hard drive. October 15th, 2016. KJ parking lot. K.J. Keisha Johnson. Kyle was planning to meet her in the parking lot the night she disappeared. Angela and Elijah meet with District Attorney Rebecca Walsh. White woman, 50s, been DA for 10 years. She reviews the evidence. It's circumstantial, she says. Kyle worked with Keisha, was obsessed with her, quit 3 days after she disappeared, made payments on the storage unit where her body was hidden, had her initials on his calendar the night she died. Angela lists. That's not circumstantial. That's a pattern. But there's no physical evidence. No DNA, no witnesses, no confession. Because he cleaned the car. Because his father helped him cover it up by controlling the storage facility. You can't prove Todd Brennan knew what was in that unit. He marked it, do not auction, for 7 years. He knew something. DA Walsh shakes her head. I can't get a murder conviction on this. Any defense attorney would tear it apart. Reasonable doubt everywhere. So he gets away with it? Elijah speaks for the first time. His voice is raw. He killed my sister. He hid her body. He made payments to keep it hidden. And you're saying you won't charge him? I'm saying I can't win this case. Not as a criminal trial. Elijah stands. My sister has been missing for 8 years. I've been looking for her every single day. I found her in a storage unit that his father kept hidden. And you're telling me there's nothing you can do? I'm sorry. I know that's not what you want to hear. What I want to hear is that you're going to arrest the man who killed her. I can't. Not with this evidence. Elijah walks out. Angela follows. Outside the DA's office, Elijah breaks down. 8 years of grief pouring out in one moment. They're not going to do anything, he says. He's going to get away with it. Not necessarily, Angela says. We can't get criminal charges. But we can file a civil lawsuit. What good is that? We can sue Kyle Brennan and Todd Brennan for wrongful death. Civil court has a lower burden of proof. We don't need proof beyond a reasonable doubt, just preponderance of evidence. Meaning? Meaning we show it's more likely than not that Kyle killed Keisha and Todd helped cover it up. If we win, they pay damages. It's not prison, but it's accountability. How much? We'll ask for $20 million. They probably won't pay that much. But we'll make them answer for what they did in open court. Do it. Angela files the civil lawsuit in Shelby County Circuit Court. Defendants, Kyle Brennan and Todd Brennan. Claims, wrongful death, intentional infliction of emotional distress, fraudulent concealment. The Brennans hire expensive attorneys, Memphis's top defense firm. They file motions to dismiss, claim the statute of limitations has expired, claim insufficient evidence, claim immunity. Judge Martin Reeves denies most motions. This case is going to trial. Discovery begins. Depositions, document requests. Angela subpoenas every record from the hospital, the storage facility, Kyle's employment history. Kyle's deposition is tense. He sits across from Angela in a conference room. His attorney, a white man in his 60s named Richard Shaw, sits next to him. Angela starts with the basics. Mr. Brennan, did you know Keisha Johnson? We worked at the same hospital. Did you ever ask her out? I may have asked if she wanted to get coffee once or twice. Witnesses say you asked her out 5 times, that you followed her, that she was uncomfortable with your attention. That's their interpretation. Did you see Keisha on October 15th, 2016? I don't remember. Your work schedule shows you were at the hospital that night. I worked a lot of nights. I don't remember specific dates from 8 years ago. Your calendar has her initials on that date. KJ, parking lot. What does that mean? Kyle glances at his attorney. I don't know. I don't remember writing that. You don't remember writing your own calendar? It was 8 years ago. Why did you quit your job 3 days after Keisha disappeared? Personal reasons. What personal reasons? I don't have to explain my employment decisions to you. Your coworker goes missing and 3 days later you quit without notice. That's not suspicious to you? Shaw interjects. Don't answer that. It's argumentative. Angela continues. Did you make cash payments on storage unit 47 at your father's facility? I helped my father with his business occasionally. I may have processed payments. The logs show monthly payments for over 7 years, always made during hours when you had access. I don't remember. The unit contained Keisha Johnson's car with her body inside. You were making payments to keep that unit from being auctioned. I didn't know what was in the unit. How did you not know? You were making payments on it for 7 years. There are hundreds of units. I didn't inspect each one. Angela leans forward. Did you kill Keisha Johnson? Shaw stands. That's enough. We're done here. The deposition ends. But Angela has what she needs. Kyle's evasiveness, his refusal to answer basic questions, his implausible claims of not remembering. In a civil trial, the jury can interpret evasiveness as consciousness of guilt. Todd Brennan's deposition is even more revealing. He's calm, polished. But Angela knows how to break through polish. Mr. Brennan, you own Brennan Storage Facility. I own several storage facilities in Memphis, including the one on Winchester Road where Keisha Johnson's body was found. Yes, Unit 47 was marked in your internal system as do not auction for over 7 years. Why? I don't personally manage every unit. My staff handles that. But you have access to the system. You can see which units are marked. Yes, so you knew Unit 47 was marked do not auction. I may have seen it. I don't specifically remember. Tennessee law requires delinquent units to be auctioned after 90 days. Unit 47 was delinquent for 7 years. Why didn't you follow the law? If there was an error, it was an oversight. A 7-year oversight? I manage multiple properties. Things slip through the cracks. Or you deliberately kept that unit off auction lists because you knew your son had hidden a body there. Todd's attorney objects. You're testifying, not asking questions. Angela rephrases. Did you know Keisha Johnson's body was in Unit 47? Absolutely not. Your son worked at the hospital where Keisha worked. She disappeared. Your son quit 3 days later. And coincidentally, a unit at your facility marked by you as do not auction contained her car and body. You expect us to believe you had no knowledge of this? I had no knowledge. Did your son tell you what was in that unit? My son rented a unit for storage. That's all. Your son didn't rent the unit. Someone forged Keisha's signature to rent it in her name. I don't know anything about that. But you kept it off auction lists. I already explained that was an oversight. Angela shows Todd the payment logs. These cash payments were made by your son. Did he tell you why he was making payments on a unit rented in a dead woman's name? I wasn't aware of the specific details. But you were aware he was making payments. He helped with the business. I didn't micromanage. Convenient. The depositions paint a clear picture. Kyle obsessed with Keisha. Kyle at the hospital the night she disappeared. Kyle quitting 3 days later. Kyle making payments on the unit. Todd marking the unit as protected. Todd failing to follow the law on auctions. But it's still not enough for criminal charges. D.A. Walsh makes that clear. In a criminal trial, the defense would argue coincidence. They'd argue poor record keeping. They'd create reasonable doubt. So Kyle and Todd just walk free? Elijah asks. Not free. You have the civil trial. Make them pay there. The trial is scheduled for April 2025, 5 months away. But before the trial, Elijah has something else to do. Something he's waited 8 years for. He buries his sister. The funeral is at Mount Vernon Baptist Church in Memphis, the same church where their mother's funeral was held, the church Elijah and Keisha attended as children. The service is packed, hundreds of people. Keisha's nursing school classmates, her co-workers from the hospital, friends from childhood, people who never stopped hoping she'd come home. Elijah speaks at the funeral. He stands at the pulpit and looks at the casket that should have been closed 8 years ago. The casket that sat empty while Keisha was locked in a storage unit. My sister was 23 years old when she was taken from us, Elijah says. His voice breaks, but he keeps going. She was going to be a nurse. She was going to help people. She was going to have a life, a career, maybe a family. She was going to have all the things that were stolen from her on October 15th, 2016. He pauses, wipes his eyes. I spent 8 years looking for her. 8 years wondering what happened. 8 years hoping she was alive somewhere. And when I finally found her, it was in a storage unit 20 minutes from my house. She was there the whole time, while I was searching, while I was praying, while I was keeping her apartment exactly as she left it. His voice gets stronger, harder. The man who killed her is walking free. He's living in Florida. He has a life. He has his freedom. And my sister is in a casket. That's not justice. That's not fair. But I promise you, Keisha, I promise you, baby girl, I won't stop fighting. I will make sure everyone knows what he did to you. I will make sure he pays for what he took from us. The congregation says, Amen. People are crying. Elijah is crying. They bury Keisha at Elmwood Cemetery, the historic cemetery where generations of Memphis families are laid to rest. Elijah chose a plot next to their mother's grave, so Keisha wouldn't be alone. The gravestone is simple, black granite, gold lettering. Keisha Marie Johnson, March 7th, 1993, October 15th, 2016. Beloved sister and daughter lost for 8 years, found by a brother who never stopped looking, justice pending. Elijah stands at the grave after everyone else has left, just him and Keisha. I'm sorry it took me so long to find you, he whispers. I'm sorry I didn't look in that storage facility sooner. I'm sorry for every day you were alone in that unit. But I found you. I brought you home. And I'm going to make sure Kyle Brennan answers for what he did. He places a bouquet of sunflowers on the grave, Keisha's favorite flowers. Then he walks away. The trial is in 5 months. The fight isn't over. But at least Keisha is home. After the funeral, something shifts in Memphis. The story that initially painted Elijah as suspicious now shifts focus to the Brennans. Local news investigates the storage facility's history. They find other suspicious units. Other long-term delinquent units that were never auctioned. One unit, rented in 2012, also has a forged signature, also marked, "Do not auction." When police finally open it, they find stolen property connected to a burglary ring. Todd Brennan claims he had no knowledge. The FBI opens an investigation into the storage facility's business practices. Money laundering, tax evasion, providing storage for criminal enterprises. Suddenly, the Brennans are the ones under scrutiny, not Elijah. Public opinion shifts. The Facebook comments that called Elijah a murderer are deleted. New comments appear. We owe this man an apology. He was trying to find his sister for 8 years. The Brennans were hiding her body. They should be in prison. How many other bodies are in those storage units? Elijah's mechanic shop calls. We'd like you to come back to work, if you're ready. His neighbors apologize. His friends reach out. The city of Memphis, which crucified him in the court of public opinion, suddenly embraces him. But Elijah doesn't care about public opinion anymore. He cares about one thing: making sure Kyle and Todd Brennan pay for what they did. Angela works 18-hour days preparing for trial. She interviews every witness, reviews every document, builds a timeline that shows exactly what happened on October 15th, 2016. The theory: Kyle Brennan waited for Keisha in the hospital parking garage. When she got to her car, he approached her. She rejected him again. He snapped, hit her with something, probably a tire iron or similar tool, killed her. Panicked, called his father. Todd came to the hospital. They put Keisha's body in her car, drove it to Brennan's storage facility, hid it in Unit 47, forged a rental agreement in Keisha's name. Then, for 8 years, Kyle made cash payments to keep the unit from being auctioned. Todd marked it as protected in the system. They thought no one would ever find her. But they made one mistake. After Kyle moved to Florida in 2020, the payments became inconsistent. Todd decided it was time to let the unit go, too risky to keep protected forever. So he removed the "Do Not Auction" flag in October 2024. He assumed the body would be too decomposed to identify, that the car would be crushed for scrap, that no one would connect it to a missing person case from 8 years ago. He didn't expect Keisha's brother to buy the unit, didn't expect Elijah to recognize the car immediately, didn't expect Elijah to fight. The trial begins April 7th, 2025. Shelby County Circuit Court. Judge Martin Reeves presiding. Jury of 12. 6 black, 6 white. 7 women, 5 men. Angela's opening statement is powerful. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is a case about a young woman who had her entire life ahead of her. A nursing student, a daughter, a sister, a woman who was murdered because she rejected the wrong man's advances. And then, for 8 years, her body was hidden. Her family was tortured with not knowing. Her brother spent every day searching, never giving up hope, until he bought a storage unit at an auction and discovered the horrible truth. The defendants want you to believe this is all coincidence, that they had no knowledge, that it's just bad luck and poor record-keeping. But the evidence will show you something different. It will show you a pattern of deliberate concealment, of a father protecting his son, of a family that valued their reputation more than they valued Keisha Johnson's life. And I will ask you, at the end of this trial, to hold them accountable. The defense's opening is predictable. This is a tragedy, but it's not the Brennans' fault. Kyle Brennan did not kill Keisha Johnson. There's no physical evidence, no witnesses, no confession, just speculation and circumstantial connections. And Todd Brennan is a successful businessman who made a clerical error. That's not a crime. That's not wrongful death. That's human error. The trial lasts 3 weeks, witness after witness. Hospital co-workers testifying about Kyle's obsession with Keisha. Storage facility employees testifying about Todd's control over Unit 47. Financial experts showing the cash payment patterns. Handwriting experts confirming the forged signature. Elijah testifies, tells the jury about the 8-year search, about finding Keisha, about the police treating him like a suspect. Kyle and Todd both testify. Both deny everything. Both claim coincidence and ignorance. The jury deliberates for 4 days. On day 4, they reach a verdict. Elijah sits in the courtroom with Angela. His hands are shaking. This is it. 8 years of searching, 6 months of legal fighting. All comes down to 12 strangers in a room. The jury files in. The foreperson, a black woman in her 50s, stands. Judge Reeves. Madam Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict? Yes, Your Honor. In the matter of Elijah Johnson versus Kyle Brennan and Todd Brennan, on the claim of wrongful death, how do you find? We find in favor of the plaintiff. Elijah exhales. First victory. On the claim of intentional infliction of emotional distress, in favor of the plaintiff. On the claim of fraudulent concealment, in favor of the plaintiff. Judge Reeves. What damages do you award? We award $8 million in compensatory damages and $12 million in punitive damages. Total, $20 million. The courtroom erupts. Elijah breaks down crying. Angela hugs him. The Brennans sit stone-faced. Their attorneys immediately file notice of appeal. But Elijah doesn't care about the appeal. Doesn't care if he ever sees $1 of that $20 million. He won. A jury heard the evidence and said, Kyle Brennan killed Keisha. Todd Brennan helped cover it up. That's justice. Not the justice he wanted. Kyle should be in prison, but it's something. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm. Mr. Johnson, how do you feel about the verdict? Elijah looks at the cameras. I feel like my sister can finally rest. For 8 years, no one believed me that something happened to her. The police thought she ran away. People thought I was crazy for never giving up. But I knew. And now everyone else knows too. Kyle Brennan killed my sister, and his father helped him hide her body. That's the truth. And no appeal can change it. What will you do with the money? I don't care about the money. I'm going to use it to help other families. Families with missing loved ones. Families who don't have the resources to fight. I'm starting a foundation in Keisha's name. We're going to investigate cold cases. We're going to search for people who've been forgotten by the system. Do you have a message for the Brennans? Elijah's expression hardens. You took my sister from me. You hid her like she was garbage. You let me suffer for 8 years while you knew exactly where she was. You're going to pay for what you did. Maybe not in a jail cell, but you'll pay. And everyone will know what kind of people you are. The appeals process drags on for months. The Brennans' attorneys argue the verdict was excessive, that the evidence was insufficient, that the jury was biased. But in September 2025, the Tennessee Court of Appeals upholds the verdict, $20 million. The Brennans must pay. They appeal to the Tennessee Supreme Court. That appeal is still pending as of November 2025. Kyle Brennan still lives in Florida, still hasn't been criminally charged, still walks free. Todd Brennan still owns his storage facilities. Though business has declined significantly, no one wants to rent from the man who hid a body. The FBI investigation is ongoing, no charges filed yet. And Elijah Johnson? He visits Keisha's grave every Sunday, brings fresh sunflowers, tells her about his week, about the foundation he's building, about the families he's helping. He still lives in Memphis, still works as a mechanic, still drives past Brennan's storage facility on Winchester Road sometimes. But he doesn't look at it with pain anymore. He looks at it with purpose, because he found his sister, brought her home, buried her with dignity. Won a verdict that says the world knows what happened to her. That's not perfect justice. Kyle should be in prison. Todd should be in prison. But it's more than most families of missing persons ever get. And Elijah will keep fighting. For Keisha. For all the other Keishas out there. The missing people no one is looking for. The cold cases gathering dust. He'll keep fighting until everyone comes home. That's the story. Elijah Johnson bought a storage unit for $500. Found his missing sister inside. Fought the police who suspected him. Fought public opinion that convicted him. Fought the wealthy white men who killed her and hid her. And he won. Not completely, not perfectly, but he won. And Keisha Marie Johnson, who was lost for 8 years, is finally home.